Donald Trump back on his 51st state talk. The U.S. president resurrecting his comments today while talking about his so-called Golden Dome missile defense plans at an unusual meeting of American military officials. Emily Taylor joins us live in studio tonight with the details on that. Emily.
Well, Matt, it's been weeks since we last heard Trump suggest Canada should become the 51st state, a phrase that was popular at the beginning of his second term, when the president also said he would use economic force, not military, to annex Canada. Today's comments also come as Trump introduces more tariffs on lumber.
Canada called me a couple of weeks ago. They want to be part of it. To which I said, well, why don't you just join our country? You become 51, become the 51st state, and you get it for free.
It's a refrain many Canadians didn't expect to hear again. Today, Donald Trump repeating his idea that Canada should become the 51st American state while speaking to a crowd of U.S. military generals.
Yeah, because we haven't heard it in so long, it feels a bit jarring again.
Jane Bolden, a professor at the Royal Military College of Canada, doesn't believe the remark was planned in the American president's speech, but
even if it's unplanned, it's important to note that it's still in his head. The fact that he hasn't been mentioning it doesn't mean that he's put it aside. That's now clear.
Trump made the remark while speaking about his so-called Golden Dome missile defense plans, saying Canada could join the operation for free as the 51st state. Earlier this year, Trump said Canada's contribution would be upwards of $70 billion U.S., and though there are a few concrete details about the program, Prime Minister Mark Carney hasn't ruled out joining.
From a Canadian perspective, right, we have a vested interest either in that kind of defense in some form, whether it's on our own part or jointly with the United States. Especially the way technology is developing, threats across the Arctic in particular are now a very real problem. The question is it worth it?
Trump spent months before his presidency even began, repeatedly talking about annexing Canada and floated using economic force to take over the country. Today, the president saying his tariffs are working.
Because they're having a hard time up there in Canada now, because as you know, with tariffs, everyone's coming into our country from Canada, Mexico, from Europe, from all over. AI, auto plants, everybody's coming back to the United States.
The White House also added more levies today, 10% on lumber and 25% on cabinets and furniture, in addition to the threats yesterday to add a 100% tariff on movies made outside of the states. All of the president's comments today were made at a highly unusual gathering of top U.S. military officials who were summoned from all over the world to attend. The president spoke for around an hour, following Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who laid out his vision to reshape the military by ending all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and upping the requirements female soldiers must meet in order to serve.